We are indeed doing another red deer hunt this week, and if you're tired of seeing the red deer grinding videos, I do apologize. Frankly, I'm a little bit tired of hunting them, and I've kind of come to the conclusion that we're just simply not going to get the great one, at least not anytime soon, if we're doing one video a week and maybe one stream a week. I wanted to just start dedicating more time to it, and that's basically what we're here to do today. We're back on Quattro Cleaners, 5,000 plus kills in, and hopefully we can keep this up and maybe get it done. Are you kidding me? A Piebald at our first lake? Another decent 7 there too. That, for one, it looks even, but it goes up to 184. Now we know, with rare antlered animals, outside of Sika deer it would seem, when the score estimate has that number up to the top, that is what they usually score. This guy should be 184 point something, which would imply that he's going to be a gold. Gold is 182.8, I think. That would be incredible. We have a mythical Piebald gold, but I mean, another even rare would be pretty cool, even if it is another Piebald. So we're gonna try to just get him from here above that hind. That will do. And we'll try to get the 7 there next to him as well. I think that shot, I was gonna say it might have been too low, but that's gonna be a lung as well. Hopefully that's a good omen for the rest of this hunt. I don't think we've started with a rare yet, so that's pretty cool. Apparently there's another stag. Oh, I saw a feet. Yeah, there's a 5 over there too. I mean, hunting pressure wise, we are good. Kind of tough to hit them on the trot, sort of in the brush, but hopefully one of those 2 shots will be vitals. It looks like it is. And thank goodness for Aurora. That is the area we're in for this lake. It has been the source of 3 piebalds now, I think. And the start of a lot of videos, usually we start our runs here, and often there are good ones. A 184.4 gold, and he's even. What a cool looking stag. Heart and double lung at 198 meters. That is so cool. I like our mythical. It's much higher scoring, but I'm not a huge fan of that rack that scores like in the 230s. It's just super massive, and I don't know. I like this. This is a little more prototypical red deer, in my opinion. Our lodge is going to be so much different. I was thinking that as we went through, maybe on stream recently, for the red deer lodge, we've got close to 40 trophy red deer in there between diamonds and rares, and eventually a number of those will make their way into the main lodge, likely the 2 gold piebalds, probably at least the 2 biggest diamonds, and who knows what else is to come with this. We're gonna have to do some rearranging eventually, but for now it'll be a new addition to the red deer lodge. And here we are as we're going around claiming stuff with 4 stag kills at the Aurora lake now. Just insane what's going on here. It's beginning to make me think that I've been missing stuff. 5 stags now, all drinking around this lake, and I would think that I should be able to see that normally from where we go, but it might be the case that I don't even look. I might usually just kind of shoot the stags over in here. Like I said, normally it's kind of the intro to the hunt, and there's a fair chance I'd have ignored it. That might be good to get that many respawns out of the way. We've got stag number 4 now to claim, and then finally one more decent one down there with the 5th one, but a little lake like this, and it's got stags all around it. But then for our 5th stag here, a 182.8, made it by 0.64 gold at level 6. 3 golds up here, and you know, if that helps to kind of show anything, we could easily miss a great one that's at a certain lake. I do think it's important as you run out and claim stuff to keep your eye out for anything that may be fleeing. Sometimes they're hidden, and in this case there were several hidden. So finally we move on to another lake. I don't think we've ever spent that long at Aurora, but this is another one of my favorites. One that we generally visit pretty much every hunt because it tends to produce at least 1 good stag, and I knew there was a 6 in there somewhere. Well, not going to pass up that opportunity when he's just kind of stuck there. And there was, I'm pretty sure there's 2 that I've passed over here somewhere. I thought that I saw 2 stags kind of side by side. I do this all the time. I don't know if it's this area, and by the way, the reason he is alert over there would be wolves, so I need to watch. If he goes back to attentive or turns, we can get a better shot here. That will work, but it's always so like foggy over in here, it's really easy to miss where they're standing. But that's 5 again at this lake, and I show it pretty much every time that we come here, but just in case you want to know where it's at, it's this little lake up in the northeast. A really good spot for red deer. I rarely come here and get less than 4. It definitely does help as well when you're kind of spread out like that. I mean, we were able to more or less take our time getting those shots off. There was 2 side by side and then the 6 that we spooked with the first one. Otherwise, it was pretty routine, I would say. And as long as we're not going to miss anything, we should be out of here pretty quickly. I would say it's fairly common that we end up getting 1 flesh hit and we'll have to track for a while. But then I think, yeah, it was this one that we shot on the move, 250 meters in the lung. That potentially is a pretty big time saver. All we're going to do is go and find the 7 now, as opposed to maybe tracking a flesh hit one that oftentimes they'll come back and not go that far, but still far more time consuming than a vital hit. And then our 7 is down right over here. I think I saw, yeah, this is happening all over the place today. Loaded weapons work a little bit better, but another stag kind of in an area that we weren't checking. But then our one big one, a 204, scoring level 7. And we have yet another one to go and get that was level 7 over on this side. And actually, I do want to emphasize this because often you guys have been asking for the Red Deer guide, and I think I am going to do that pretty soon. I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp of Quattro. But one thing I generally say is just like check all your lakes, and everybody's map is a little bit different. You may not have red deer in the exact same places I do, but that's why I usually don't get too caught up in the details of which lake to go and check. And I'll kind of talk more about checking around all the lakes where red deer could be, mostly because you get locations like that. Sometimes there's red deer all around, but there's even more on sides that aren't as visible. If I'm not mistaken, this is our first mythical of the hunt. Kind of got the same rack as the level 7 that we shot earlier, but nice to see 1 level higher. Still kind of getting used to that shot with the ARs being a little bit different than using any of the other rifles, but I feel like we've pretty well gotten the hang of it. And of course, it's always a little more satisfying to see them drop with that neck or heart shot. In that case, though, we were a little low and got the top of the skull, so lost the gold. Still our highest score, though, at 218. Oh. I didn't even think that was a level 9. It looks just like the 7 and the 8 that we shot earlier. I think there are 3 stags here. We'll still be careful and get into the blind, just to ensure that we don't get too much hunting pressure. Couple of stags out in there as well. But as long as we can get our 9 here, that'll be the main focus. It is the smaller rack, but up to 271, I think he's got a fair shot at it. A little bit of a weird shakiness going on there with the scope, but we hit all 3. That one's down. That one's going down. And actually, I think we shot too low on the 9, oddly enough, so we may need to wait for him to come back. Usually they do in the meantime. Let's go ahead and get the ones that are over there, and basically what that's going to allow us to do is get out of the blind and sort of set ourselves up for a better shot. He's just kind of walking off, so we'll try to alert him again. If we can just get something a little better than that. Like, I don't like when the head is down, like kind of blocking the vitals. We had this with a level 7, I think, last week, and we ended up getting that skull shot. And of course, doesn't matter from there if we hit the skull, the trophy organs are ruined. He's just so determined to never give us anything even remotely broadside. Maybe if we could just make it quick. My goodness. That was more stressful than a lot of shots I've tried to take. He just never would allow a good ethical shot. So, not exactly gone to plan. But we did kill all 5 stags at this lake as well, which I think is going to make it the 5th lake that had 5 or more stags. It's this one over here now, kind of in the northeast. We had our level 6 that went down here, and actually the 9's not too far away from where the 6 went down, and because he was already lower on health, it was likely just a lung shot that brought him down. I do see the vital bloods. We should be all good at least to get the maximum metal for him. And he is a diamond at 251.7. We had that hard shot if we were just a touch higher. Little unfortunate, but lung liver stomach was enough to bring him down. Kind of saved that one with a little bit of a difficult cat and mouse game waiting for that shot to present itself. But now to Red Deer to take a look at in the trophy lodge when we get back. And there are 2 more down on that side we can get. Just quickly try to get those shots in. Figures we can nail a next shot at who even knows how far. And couldn't get the 9 with the hard shot at much closer. And by the way, that is now 7 at this particular lake. I feel like for this run, at least as far as what made it into the video, there weren't that many lakes. It was just a bunch that had a lot of stags at them, and generally some good ones as well. So then finally, our last 2 stags of the day are not exactly big ones. Looks like 320 meters to get that next shot though. 324 in fact. Didn't even hit the skull like we did on the mythical, but we do, as I said, have 2 stags to go back and take a look at in the trophy lodge still. Further and further down the hall, we're to the point where we're going to have to go down either side now with our 2 new additions, the gold Piebald at 184, and of course our nearly messed up diamond at 251. I think that's at least the second time that we've had to take a second shot on a red deer with the 308, but in both cases we got the diamond still. And yeah, I mean, I think our last couple of runs have been pretty consistently producing some trophy red deer. Hopefully that's a good sign of things to come. But anyway, that is officially going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.